nice.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. Now to change paces to music, we have
D-Day?
some big shit. D-Day?
D-Day?
We talking about D-Day?
Let's talk about D-Day.
Let's talk about D-Day. This is going to be
Have
interesting.
you guys
D-Day.
all heard D-Day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Heard it once through.
All right. Let's
That's all you need.
It's really
You need to hear it more, technically.
I do. I should hear it. I'm gonna hear it more. But
Let's get some thoughts on D-Day.
let me start with you, Scooby. What is overall your opinion
So
of D-Day?
I love Dreamville. They are my favorite. So I fuck with
Right now, they're your favorite? Or they're now your favorite of all time?
They've been my favorite
Over 2 years.
since I've heard. So Dreamville as a whole, like, because I've always fucked with Cole. I've always fucked with
JID?
Ever since I heard JID, yeah, I think I heard JID when DiCaprio 2 came out. And like, so when he had 151 rum and all that, yeah, that's when I was like, okay, hold on, I gotta slow it down. Look, hold on, Jid. All right, I fuck with you. Boz, ever since I heard Tribe, so and then Earth Gang,
I fucking love Earth Gang.
Always been a fan.
Spillage Village, all them.
How old is Earth Gang? Anyone know? Because are they fairly new?
No.
Because I've only heard them off the base, like pretty much the first Dreamville record. That's when I first heard it introduced to Earth Gang.
The first time I heard Earth Gang, I was living in Oregon. So they at least have been around for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But when Earth Gang first came out, I actually believe JID was a part of it.
Yeah, Earth Gang, Spillage Village. They're all because who else is in it? Black.
Yeah.
Black is in Spillage Village. But Earth Gang is a part of Spillage Village.
I thought you were gonna say Black was part of Earth Gang.
No, Black is a part of Spillage Village.
Black should just
along
join
with JID and
Black should just join Dreamville.
He should.
What's your guys' favorite song on it though?
So, on the new one,
yeah.
I gotta bring up a track list real quick.
I need the track.
So far, my favorite song has been "Stick."
The first one,
Really?
That song's dope.
Nah.
Hey, Sheck West surprised me.
So let me see.
I got you.
I'm gonna bring up.
No, I got the track list right here. So we got Stick first, the song, then Ghetto Gods freestyle, Lifestyle, Starting 5.
My favorite, Josie Flows, and Barry from Simpson.
Ooh. I was listening to that on my way here.
Those are my favorite ones right now. But not saying that like the rest of them aren't freaking great. Keep it real with you.
Features on this.
There are. But so back to my point though. Like I've been listening to them. One of my favorite albums of all time is Revenge of the Dreamers 3. When that dropped and they did they even did that little 30-minute video on YouTube where they was
I think that was one of the best parts about it. It was because it created a whole new experience.
Yeah,
right?
it was fantastic. I do feel like as great as it is, I do feel like D-Day didn't feel like Dreamville to me. It doesn't feel like it's a Dreamville mixtape. It feels like it's a what is it? Gangsta Grillz. It's a Gangsta Grillz mixtape. It's not.
It is a Gangsta.
That's
Grillz.
exactly what
that's
it is.
exactly what it
Yeah.
is. But like the beats,
The
everything
feel
like that,
of
the
it.
feel of it, the flow of it doesn't feel Dreamville to me.
Okay.
It's
Is
great.
that a
It's
good thing or a bad thing though?
I could. It's not up
Like
there.
I'm not sure if that's a knock or like a compliment.
No, it's neither. It's like it's a good. I'm a rock with it regardless because there's some good music on there, but it's not in my top 5. You know what I mean? Out of everything that Dreamville has produced, like has made, it's not in my top 5. I've other than that, like it's great. Like Earth Gang's new album was way better than this mixtape, but this mixtape is still up there. You know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What about you, Jody?
I would have I was gonna say, I like Josie Flows. That's a good one, but I had to like really look at this to the list because like when I listen to an album for the first time, I just let it go.
Yeah.
And I don't pay attention to the track list or anything, so I had to like go through and like kind of cheat to find out which one. But yeah, you said it. I was like, oh yeah. No.
Okay. What about you, Raj? What are your thoughts?
I loved it.
Okay.
I mean, I had no complaints about it, to be honest. It has great features, it So the first mixtape where I got introduced to Earth Gang, right?
Yeah.
That one felt more like it was just J. Cole and then these guys. This one feels it's everyone equally doing their thing, in my opinion. And this is coming from I love J. Cole. He's like my favorite artist of all time right now.
To have him like not be the center.
Yeah, and I was okay with it.
Okay. Okay.
You're about to kill some dreams right now or something.
Here we go.
I'm not, man. For the most part, I liked it.
Okay.
I did. I thought there were moments on it that were good, and then there were moments on it that felt like ideas. Here's the thing about.
Shit, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Here's the thing about Dreamville, or at least like any type of like collective, right? Like you had good music.
Young Money.
Okay. So when good music came out with their album, you usually had the heavy hitters on most of the songs. And the reason why you did that was so that way the songs carried, right? Big Sean was on just about every song. If Big Sean wasn't on it, 2 Chainz was on it. If 2 Chainz wasn't on it, Kanye was on it, right? And that makes it more balanced. I felt like it wasn't balanced, and I felt like it showed some weaknesses in Dreamville, to say the least. Like, for example, I thought Ari Lennox was one of the weaker spots on the whole album. I felt like both songs that she was on weren't really pulling their... She wasn't really pulling her weight. The Blackberry Sap and especially Coming Down. Like, I felt like that was... it was forced, man. The instrumental felt forced. And I felt like that... So, my first time listening to it... Now, I've listened to this album 3 times, okay? So my first time listening to it, my thought was, just like yours, this isn't Dreamville. Mm-hmm. Then the second time, I was okay, let me try to digest this better, right? Because the first time, I was like, okay, this is kind of indigestible to me because this is not what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. So then the second time, I guess my biggest criticism was I felt like the heavy hitters on Dreamville didn't get enough shine. Like, I get it. I get what J. Cole's doing because I think this is one of the things that will make J. Cole one of the greatest rappers to ever bless the mic, but also to ever bless others, is that he's trying to use his name to bring up the rest of the people on his label, right? But Jid should have been on more songs. J. Cole should have been on more songs. Boz should have been on more songs, right? But I get these are all people who've had their moments. Boz was on almost every single track on J. Cole's last album. So I get it, right? Jid is going to hold his own. But people like Kaz, people like Ari Lennox, people like Omen, and even Earth Gang to an extent, they don't get the same recognition that all the others do. Earth Gang is like that niche, that niche spot on Dreamville. Like you have to have like a certain ear to want to listen to their music. I think there's a lot of people who do have that ear. But then again, who doesn't have that ear? Radio. Right. So pop music doesn't have that radio, right? So like if you listen to those things, usually you haven't heard of Earth Gang before. Right? I just felt like it was forced in a lot of spots, but in the moments that it shined, it did.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, so I agree. I agree with you. But also there was a point that I did want to touch down on that you said that he feels like he didn't use his heavy hitters enough on this mixtape because on the last album he did have Boz and Jid on damn near
everything.
On everything, right? Maybe that was his point. He was like, "Look, I agree. I do have other artists on this that deserved a shot. So let me go ahead and drop this mixtape. I'm gonna be on a few of them. Mm-hmm. Jid's gonna be on a few of them. Boz gonna be on a few of them.
Yeah,
but."
I feel like
we're not going to be as much because we want y'all to shine. Exactly. We want y'all to shine like we know you know how to do. You just got to do it. And then I guess they just didn't deliver.
I feel like J. Cole does that a lot. And he's very unselfish, like when it comes to music in general.
Right.
And a perfect example of that is the album that you did not like, For Your Eyes Only. Like that was, I guess, in a way, it was a little bit more of a selfish album because it was just for him.
But it's still to this day, it's still his worst album.
No, I agree with you, but it wasn't terrible. I'm just saying. But my point is that he doesn't Like
it wasn't.
he-
No, okay.
No, but like my
yeah,
point when it
yeah,
comes to like Dreamville, he cares more about his people than he does about what fans think. In my opinion,
I agree. I you know
like he
that's
wants
a very
he wants his people to eat.
yeah, that's a very J. Cole thing.
Yeah.
I completely see that in his character. I just felt like the timing was the wrong time, right?
feel it.
Meaning
I definitely
not
feel
that the fact that it shouldn't have been this album or shouldn't have been a album, it shouldn't have been a Gangsta Grillz off the cuff Dreamville album. It should have been a Dreamville album where he's letting Dreamville artists shine in their element, not pull them to this more like underground mixtape type thing. I hated Stick. I felt, and
I
actually,
just love how catchy it is.
I hated Stick, and it wasn't.
Sheck West. Come on,
And
now.
honestly, it wasn't because like after the third time listening to it, it wasn't because of the song. It was because the fact that it was the first song on the album. If I had played that for anybody, right? If I was like hyping up Dreamville, and I was like, dude, this album's gonna be so good, and they're like, I've listened to a couple J. Cole songs and I really like J. Cole, so maybe I'll give this a chance. And I played that and I turned it on.
Honestly,
and
though,
Stick
the
was the
song
first
that
thing
I'm
to play.
playing-
I'd be like, oh fuck.
I agree.
I'm like, shit.
The song that I'm
completely
playing for
agree.
people though is like he said, Barry from Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, that's what I think. Because when I first heard it when it dropped, like
Yeah.
when as soon like the day it dropped, and I was like, okay, this is. I wouldn't have went with this as the intro at all. Like I wouldn't have went with this as the intro track. This is kind of crazy, and it kind of threw me off for the rest of the mixtape. But then after like my second, third playthrough, I gave it a shot. I was like, okay, all right, I got cool.
I feel that way about every J. Cole album besides Sports Hill Drive. Like, because I think even like, what was that? The album he came out with after For Your Eyes Only was
KOD?
KOD, right? The first time I heard KOD, I didn't like it.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, remember
I
we
thought
talked
it
about
was-
it then.
I thought he was trying too hard. I thought he was trying to appeal to a certain audience of people and like tell a message at the same time. Like, hey, all you kids who are taking lean and doing Xannies and all that stuff. Hey guys, listen to this. Because this is like little Pump's music, and this is like so-and-so's music. But guess what? There's a message behind it. So at first, it felt corny to me.
That's what I was gonna
But
say.
then-
It's a message behind
Yeah,
it. that not
at
a lot of
first it
people
felt
caught.
corny to me. And I was like, you know what? He was trying to, kind of tear down these artists in a way because they're promoting a terrible message in my eyes. But in a way, he kind of made their music sound even better. But then I was like, that was kind of the point. Like after I got it, I was like, okay, that was the point.
You know,
The point was you can have those beats, you can have those catchy flows, but it doesn't have to be about what they're talking about.
Yeah.
what's the name? What's the name of J. Cole's first studio album?
His first studio album was not the comeback.
Yeah,
It was
something like that. Yeah.
No.
Sideline Story.
Sideline Story. Yeah,
So
I love that album, honestly. So if you diss that shit, I might have to
keep
like
it 100.
You
with
like
you.
that?
across this cable.
Every single album, like for instance, I don't appreciate you dissing For Your Eyes Only because I love that fucking album. But every out of
feel like
all
he's about to say
out
something
of
bad
all
about
of his
this, and I'm about to
albums,
fly
no,
across this table.
no, it's not bad. Out of all of his albums, that is the one that I listen to the least. I've
his first album.
his first studio album, yes,
I
because
agree.
I
No,
jumped in.
I agree. It's not because I don't like it though. It's because
funny
there's new stuff.
It was crazy because I jumped. No, when I dove into J. Cole's music on
Mixtapes.
the come up.
Grown Simba.
The come up.
Yeah.
And then he had the come up, and then he had the warm up. The warm up was my favorite fucking mixtape
dat?
of all
Who dat?
time. That's my
Yeah.
favorite mixtape of all
That's
fucking
on
time.
Sideline Story.
Hey,
But that's also on the
know.
warm up too.
listen. And then after that, I didn't listen to Sideline Story. You know, the first J.
Dollar
Cole
and the
album I
Dream
heard
kept
was
me
2014
going.
Forest Hills Drive. I listened to the singles on the Sideline Story, but I didn't listen to the whole album start to finish.
Wait, so have you never heard the whole
I have.
album? I was gonna say.
Oh, I did,
okay.
but 2014 Forest Hills Drive was the first album start to finish, and then after that, I went to Born Center and all that other shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of his hardest albums. The only
Wait,
and
what album?
the comeback.
The
Or
Sideline
the
Story?
Silent Story. Sorry,
Whole
Silent
World
Story.
of Silent Story.
The reason why, though, I agree though it was like the least album I listened to of his was because of the music that was out around that time as well.
Okay.
That's
Right.
that probably paid.
It was really competitive, right? So I think around that time Big Sean came out with Finally Famous,
Drake was
which was
out.
also a really good album. I think Drake came out with Thank Me Later. Like,
Kendrick Lamar had an album out.
yeah, he did. Wait, Drake did come out with Thank Me Later around that time.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
And Thank Me Later.
Kendrick Lamar came out
I'm
with,
not a big Drake fan, but I love Thank Me Later.
He came out with what was
Good
it?
Kid, Mad City.
No,
That
it was a
the album that was
mixtape.
closest there, though.
Okay,
The actual album.
Good Kid, Mad City came out later, but what came out around that time was
Section 8.
Section 8, and Section 8 put like Kendrick on the map.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like
Section 80.
Section 80. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I just have to say something about Sideline Story before I forget.
Go ahead. Dollar and Dream.
That album fucking just saved me through
I agree,
like
man.
a hard time at that point because
That
I
was
was
the
just out of
one.
high school. I didn't know what we were pretty much. It was 2011. We graduated
Yeah.
in 2010, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with
Mm-hmm.
anything, and I was like very unmotivated at the time. But like I said, Dollar and the Dream like really kept me going for a while. I literally listened to that song every day.
So Dollar and Dream was on the warm up.
It was also Dollar in the Dream 3 then, I guess, because there's like, obviously there's 3 of them. I've heard all of them. But Dollar in the Dream off the Sideline Story, listen to it every single day.
The first J. Cole song I heard was Grown Simba. And
You
I
actually introduced me to J. Cole.
yeah. I heard that. I was like, who's this guy? And why is it so good?
Grown Simba
And
was
then,
such a
yeah,
dope
Grown
song.
Simba
Grown
was a
Simba was
hit. And then I played, after that was, what was that? This is the girl of my dreams.
Dreams.
Yeah,
It's called Dreams.
Dreams, dude.
That shit's crazy.
I was
That
like,
was
this-
on like one of his later
The warm
albums,
up.
though, yeah.
That was on the warm up. No, he did. He did.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because I'm thinking of the sequel to that, which is Power Trip.
Yes,
Power
you're
Trip,
thinking
yeah,
of
we'll
Power
make
Trip.
it.
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
girl in my dreams.
Because he mentions
she
it.
Seems.
Yeah, because he mentions
Oh
the.
my fucking god! I forgot about that song,
Dude, that song was.
How can I
was
forget
like,
about
holy
that?
cow.
That's
dude.
one of the
It-
greatest.
it's
bro.
such a
I
good
want
song, man.
Is his mixtapes on Title?
No,
What's it called? It's
And
on.
I can't
They're
find
on
his mix-
SoundCloud.
It's on. They're on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
downloading it now.
On SoundCloud.
Just got it.
Dude,
Because what's the song? Is it Can't Cry, or is it what's it called? Because it was
it's on the warm up.
it was on the warm up.
Let's look up the warm up.
I think it was one of the intro tracks. It was like one of the first tracks on there.
Apparently, I don't know how to spell worm.
That's funny. Well, okay. Here, I have a question for you guys. And we kind of talked about this